Yes, you are most welcome to this video today. Uh, this is, I think, our fifth video, and in this video is where we are going to start our very practical or hands-on sessions. We are going to learn how we start. We are actually going to start how to write code in these videos. Yes, it is Lawrence again to take you through the basics of web designing using HTML, CSS, and WordPress. Yes, like I told you in the previous videos, I told you we shall be using some programs like Notepad++, Visual Studio Code, which I'm sure you have already downloaded because I shared the links in the description of the previous video. All right. So today I want us to start with learning how to open, yes, how to open these programs, how we can open a document, and then how we can write a web page or start a web page, then how we can save it, and then we shall discuss some other things like the HTML tags, etc. Note, we are going to start so much with the HTML. Why HTML? Like I told you yesterday, because HTML is the structuring language. And you know, whenever you're building a house, you must start with a foundation, which foundation lays a structure for your house. Like uh, the rooms that you put in your foundations, or the rooms that you put on your foundation or in your foundation, are the ones that will determine the rooms in the house, leave alone the artificial partitioning that is up these days. But then foundation is important. So HTML is what we're going to use today, and it is HTML that we're going to follow. All right. So you must have downloaded these programs and you must have installed them on your computers, I'm sure. Yes, like now on my computer, I rarely put my programs on the desktop. No, I find it very ugly. I don't pin my programs on the desktop, but rather I pin them on the taskbar. And you see my programs already on the taskbar. So I'll just click on them to open. Yeah, I'm going to be handling both of them, but later I'll switch strictly to Visual Studio Code. But for the start, I want to switch, or I want to be showing you how to use both of them, such that whoever is using either of the two can be following in this video. All right. So for the start, there is something that we're going to screenshot. There is something that we're going to screenshot, and yeah, we shall explain it maybe later. All right. So whenever you open Notepad, this is for Notepad now. Whenever you open Notepad, it automatically comes with a default page. Or if you have been working on some older programs or some older pages, it will display their code here. It will open them. All right. So now it has opened a new document or a new text, which is called new one. So whenever you are creating a home page, there are a few tags. I'm going to explain tags and elements. But there are a few tags that we expect to find. Sorry about that. There are a few tags that we expect to find. One, you'll always start with the doc type. Yeah, this is how we write it. Doc type. Yes, we shall start with the doc type. Of course, this one has tags and whatever, just as we do in the other programs. It has everything that we need, maybe search, view, etc. It has all these ones here. So you can try to change whatever you want from here. You understand? Eh? You can just try to change whatever you want from here. So you can maybe have the doc type. Yes, we have the doc type. Sometimes we prefer using doc type HTML like that. Yeah, you screenshot these tags. We shall explain them later. Then you open another tag, write HTML. HTML. Then after we close the HTML. Yes, so far those three tags. Yes, I'll write them again when you go to the Visual Studio Code. So whenever you open any web document, you want to create a web page, at least, yes, write those three tags. We have written them, or you can just write the doc type. I'll explain what it means. Then after, you go to the file ribbon or the file tab, whatever you may call it. Then you look for save or save as. You can even press Ctrl S. Yes, Ctrl S. So you say save as. It is going to open for you the save as dialog box, just as we do for all the other programs, the Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So what do? You go and locate your folder on the desktop. Maybe I have a folder maybe called week 2 Yes, I want to save it in week 2. Yeah, I call it, maybe I want to call it index. One thing you should note whenever you're designing what you want the home page to be, or whenever you're designing a page that you want to use as your home page for your website, it is better you always save it as the index. You give it a name as index. So you name it index. Then after you come and say, maybe you choose the language that I'm writing a document in HTML, in hypertext markup language. Then you save. So that is basically our web page. That is basically how we create documents. And you can see for this notepad plus plus, immediately after saving, it gives you color. It colors your tags. That is HTML. That is your notepad plus plus. Alright, let us switch to the Visual Studio Code. For the Visual Studio Code, this is its main interface. So you can just click on this to create a new file, or you can just come to file. Yeah, you can just see if maybe this one is closed like that, you can just come to file, or you can just come somewhere here, wherever you want. So you can just come and say, let me first open my browser. Yeah, you come to file and you say new text file. Yeah, you can say new text file like that. Yeah, I'll open my new text file. Yes, so even before you open the new text file, maybe I've opened this word, I've saved this index page here, I've created it on the desktop, so I may wish to open it. The best way to open it, what I usually recommend to avoid the inconveniences and whatever, just go and open that folder where you have saved it. Like maybe I've saved it in week 2, that is where I've saved it. So you go to week 2, just pick it and drag it here. Just pick and drag it here, it will open. You see it is called index.html. I'm offline. Yes, you see my computer is offline, but I have opened this index.html, and here it is showing me just the file path, or the path to that page, to show that it is locally on my computer. But now it is an empty page. I've not even written anything in it. That is why it is just blank. All right, so let us try using this. Yeah, you see, I came to file and I chose new text file. So when I chose that, it opened for me this kind of thing. What you do, you can again write your tags the way we wrote them. Yeah, doc type, okay, like that. Maybe doc type HTML. Yeah, you can also open HTML, then you close HTML like that. So that is the best key. You see, this is the good thing with this program, the Visual Studio Code, that for it, whenever you open a tab, it automatically closes it for you. It has very many other things that actually make it better than the Notepad++, but that is one of them. Whenever you open a tag, it actually closes it for you. Then after, you can use your Control S to save, just as we did for the other one. Yeah, maybe let me delete this one such that we move with only one. Yeah, I call it maybe index. Still, you choose the language as HTML. It has different languages also. Yeah, you choose that I want to use HTML. You choose the file, just as we have done for the other one. The creating and saving is not very different and difficult. So you just say save. Yeah, you say replace, of course. Yeah, so that is that. You have created your page. And you see, when you come to this, yeah, it even shows you the file path here, that it is in C users, Mr. Lorry desktop week 2. Yeah, it is called index HTML. I know you're writing HTML. So that is basically how we create our pages. Yeah, you choose the language, you choose what you want to use, like that. So those are the tags. All right, so let me close the notepad. For people who are using notepad, you'll excuse me, but let me close the notepad because I really prefer using the Visual Studio Code. All right, so let us try to look at what we call the tags and elements. You know, in HTML or in programming, okay, in web designing, we have elements, and elements are basically the things that make up our pages. For example, a paragraph can be an element, a table can be an element. Yes, a form can be an element, a list is an element, a link is an element, a button is an element. All those things that you want to place on your web page are actually elements. However, what makes up elements? What makes up an element is what we call a tag, an HTML tag, or a tag. A tag, how do you see that this one is a tag? A tag will usually have this opening symbol, and then like a tag is written in between this kind of brackets. That is how we write our tags. So for example, HTML is a tag. This is now HTML tag. And you know, these HTML tags are basically defined as the building blocks of the elements. A tag can simply be defined as the building block of any element, because whenever you want to indicate an element, as we are going to see, but whenever you want to indicate an element, you simply use a tag to indicate that element. One thing you should note, HTML tags are not displayed in our pages, and whenever you design, you write your code here. Okay, maybe I come here and say maybe, okay, let me put this head, yeah, because this is the basic structure that we looked at yesterday anyway. Yeah, maybe when I have this, yeah, then I come and say maybe P, I say today, yeah, today is the maybe Sunday, yeah, like that. Today is a Sunday, and then I put maybe that, yeah, like something like that. Okay, yeah, I come here and type maybe something like that, then I save. So that is basically something small. We shall come back to it and we shall explain it. Then I save, and maybe I come here and I refresh. Okay, so that one has not helped you. Yeah, maybe you come and do this like that. Yes, let's save. Yes, you refresh. You see, this B has been displayed, which I don't want to be displayed. And whenever you see it in your page, you just know that there is a difference, or there is a mistake that you have made. There's some mistake that you have made in writing that code. So you have to go back to your code, you visit it, and then you see what you have actually done. So one thing I would advise you to do, me, I prefer, when I write code, I prefer testing from the browser. That is what I prefer. That is where you're seeing I have my editor displayed here, and then I have the browser also displayed. You can have more than one browsers. You can have Chrome open, you can have Mozilla Firefox open, you can have different other browsers open. So far, that is what we have about the HTML tags. So as I was explaining, HTML tags are not necessarily displayed in the browser, and they should not be displayed in the browser, but rather they tell the browsers how to display the different elements. That is what the HTML tags do. You realize we are going to, maybe in our next videos, we shall be understanding, we shall be going through these different tags and what they do. But you'll see that HTML now supports over 140 tags, and each has a very different task that it does. So let us try to break down this code of ours, having understood the elements and then having understood the tags. Yes, we are saying, or we have said, that these are elements. For example, we have head, we have body. I think those are elements. But now the tags, or what leads us to those elements, are what we call the tags. Now body, this just body that we have written here is a body tag. This one is an HTML tag. Yeah, so far I have only 10 lines of code. Just for that something small, I have 10 lines already. So you see how this thing will be. You'll end up writing thousands of code, hundreds of code. Yeah, you write 1,000 lines of code for your web page, not for the full website, but for your web page. Now maybe 6,000 people write very many lines of codes. It depends on the functions that you want to give to your website. All right, so this doc type, let me now break down what I've written. Doc type, you see, doc type, it is document type. That is where it comes from, document type. And this document type is basically a declaration, or it is a question and answer that you're giving. The computer is asking you, and you give it an answer. Okay, so the computer asks, which document or which type, which language are you going to use in this doc type? That is what the tag asks. Then you tell it that me, I'm going to use HTML. That is why I have doc type HTML. That the computer asks me, which language are you going to use? Which type of document is this? You tell it, no, it is an HTML document. That is basically what this one does. It is better you start with it. Doc type to declare to the computer that I'm using the HTML language. Alright. Now I have this second one, HTML. Yes, HTML simply tells the computer that now I'm writing my HTML code. This is now whatever comes inside the HTML tag is part of the HTML. For example, all of these things that you're seeing here are inside this HTML tag. How do you see that now this one is inside this tag? This is how you see it. You see, I opened the tag here and I closed it here, which means that everything that you want to be inside this tag must be written before you close. How do you close? You simply see the forward slash here. That is basically how we close. How do I close a tag? I put a forward slash before writing its name. That is how I close the tag. The tag name is HTML, so I opened it here. Then when I reached here, I opened the tag, but then I put a forward slash before writing the word HTML again. And that is what indicates in this HTML that I've closed the tag. Hope I'm clear there with you. Alright. So now we have the head. Like I explained yesterday when we were seeing the yes, I explained yesterday when we were seeing the what? When we were seeing the we were seeing the structure of HTML web pages, and we said basically the head is where we have technical information about our document. We shall see what to write there. Yeah, probably in our next video we are going to see what to write in the head section. Example, we basically write things like the meta tags, we basically write the stylings, we basically write the titles. Yeah, but we write technical information there in the head section. Then we go to the body section, and like I told you yesterday, we said the body section is where you put everything that you want to appear on your page. And you should note that whatever you want to appear on your page must appear inside this body tag. Like here I opened the body tag, and now here I close the body tag. So basically, what have we learned in this video? We have learned how to start a web page, how to open a web page, some of the simple code that we can put there, and then how to save it. Yes, how do I save? We have seen. And then lastly, how to open in our browser. That is basically what we have. Maybe just a summary. We have said whenever you want to create a page, simply come to file. Maybe using this, you say new text file. Then you type doc. Doc type. Doc type. You can put the HTML inside. Doc type HTML. Open the HTML tag and Visual Studio Code. You'll click down. You can close. Yes, I close my HTML. So Visual Studio Code closes it. So after that, Control S to save. Yes, you give it a name that maybe I want to call it page 2. Page 2, like that. You say I want to call it I want to save it as an HTML document. Then you look for the folder where you want to save it, and then you click on save. How do you view it? How do you see what you have done? You simply open your folder where you have saved, then open your browser. Better you just drag. Sometimes it is okay if you double click. It is very okay if you double click, still it will open. Just that sometimes, especially for documents written using notepad, or depending on your computer's settings, it will bring this with a notepad or with a Visual Studio Code icon here. That means, for example, this is what I basically mean. If it will open maybe with notepad, maybe I come to show more, I look at the properties, it will open. Maybe if I come here and change, maybe if I come here and change to Visual Studio Code and I apply, okay, you see how it opens. Now it opens with this other different kind of icon. This one. Show me, yes, it is there. It is an HTML page and the page is there, the file is there. But it is opening. Maybe when I try to click on it, it will open with Visual Studio Code. It will not open with my Chrome, because Chrome is now not the default program for opening it. That is from the properties here. So the best thing, even if you have this kind of display, is to drag this, you bring it and drop it here on your Chrome, and Chrome will open it for you. That is basically why I prefer that method of dragging. However, if on your computer it is by default opening with the Chrome, yeah, for example, if it is showing that kind of icon, then you can just double click on it. It means that here, when you double click on it, it will open with Chrome. And still, if you want to see it in your Visual Studio Code, but it is opening with Chrome, you can just drag, you bring and drop somewhere here. Yes, it will be opened for you. So that is basically how we open, and that is basically how we save. That is how we display, or how we see our files or our text in our pages in both the text editor and in the browser. All right, thank you for following this video. In the next video, we are basically going to be diving more into the HTML elements and tags, and we shall understand the head section and what we are supposed to put in the head section. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, like, and comment. All right, thank you. Stay well.